Hi everybody, it's Lance at Gregory Polaris in Jacksonville, Arkansas, standing alongside Rob Gregory, Eric Teague, Steve Worthy, here to talk to you today safely about the Sportsman 570 from Polaris Industries. Now you'll notice we don't have our masks on. That is so you can hear us talk to you, okay? We want you to hear all of the cool features and benefits of the new 2021 Sportsman 570, and we also want you to understand a little bit about how business is done here at Gregory Polaris. To tell you more about that, here's Rob Gregory.
Good morning. My name is Rob Gregory. Thank you, Lance.
Yes,
hey, for 27 years, we've done things we think is a little bit simpler. There's no pressure here. There's no commissioned sales staff. I pay these guys to do a job, and they're professional about it, and they are very knowledgeable. How knowledgeable are they? That is your sales manager. That is your finance manager. That is your parts manager. That is who you drop the machine off whenever you want service. That is who you talk to whenever you're going to pick it up after the service. From head to toe, when you call, these are the guys that are going to answer the phone. They're all going to be right here at the counter. Everything is done here on the front counter, and then the service department, they'll get it back there and call you whenever the machine is ready. But for 27 years, I really have enjoyed selling one product, American-owned Polaris. So along the way, one of the questions that has always come up when it's somebody's first ATV or first time that they're going to have a Polaris, it seems like they always have a brother who knows a buddy who has a cousin that had a belt problem. Well, the fact is, we don't have a belt problem. We have customers and consumers who use low and high range wrong. So let me tell you how you're going to properly use that. So you've got a park. It's an easier gear shifter than any other brand. Everything is in line rather than keyed left and right, left and right, left and right. So the owner's manual is going to tell you 7 miles an hour, use low, and above that go into high. I disagree with that here in Arkansas because we've got gumbo, we've got hills, we've got sandy mud, we've got just a lot of different stuff. For instance, at my deer camp, when I'm leaving my camper to go to my deer stand, I've got a trail system that is winding off camber this way, up a hill, and some mud holes. Now at best I could drive 15 if it was dry. I'm still going to stay in low for that because the machine, and every machine that Polaris makes, has a rev limiter for around 7,000 RPMs on the engine. So what that allows you to do is you can actually leave this machine in low and run it up to 25 miles an hour without doing any damage. So I highly recommend that you know the terrain that you're going to ride and whether or not you can safely go into high without having any belt repairs later down the road. And when I get to the end of that trail that I was talking to you about, it's going to open up on a big open area, and for the next 3 miles I'll be in high. It's my choice if I want to go 25 or 30 or 40 on the ATV or Ranger that I'm on that day. Steve can help tell you a little bit more about the front end of this bike.
Okay, so for 2021, some of the changes they made on the Sportsman 570 is on your front rack. They gave you a rack extender. So if you go out on the ride just to help secure anything that you might be taking with you, you can just help hook it up to that. And another big change, which everyone loves, is they moved the battery from down on the frame to now it is up top. So it just makes it a lot more accessible. Also up front here in your storage, if it's going out on a ride during the summer, if you want to pack some ice, some drinks with you, whether it be like a Pepsi, Gatorade, something like that, right? You got some drain plugs.
Beverages are not allowed on off-road vehicles. Please do not use adult beverages on off-road vehicles.
So you got drain plugs down here to help drain out any water or anything that may get in there. All right, now also up here on the front of this where your monitor is, you're going to have a charging station. So if you want to trickle charge your battery, you can now. That's also new for 2021. And on your headlights, I'm going to turn these on for you. Your low is going to turn on the 2 down here, and your high gives you your pod station up here. All right, now Eric is going to go over some of the features on the back of the unit.
All right, so redesigned in the back, the 570 non-EPS, you're going to have a single tail light here in the rear. You go to your EPS units, you're going to have dual tail lights. Independent rear suspension really helps you ride. Anybody that's ridden one, solid rear axle, over logs, Feel how bumpy it is. Independent really going to help soak that up. Going to get you a good ride there. This thing has 44 horsepower. Plenty of horsepower. And with that, it's got a tow hitch. That 44 horsepower is going to allow you to pull a trailer of 1,350 pounds. Very good unit. 11.5 inches of ground clearance. Really going to help on the trails. If you're looking for a good rig to hunt with, ride around, do some work on your place, the Sportsman 570 is the rig for you. Plenty of power, plenty of ride comfort, good to go. Rob, you got something else to say?
I want to talk about the all-wheel drive system on this compared to the other brands that are out there. So there's some of the brands out there got 4x4 stickers on them. That's awesome on the sticker. It's not great on the day you're stuck. So there's basically 3 different kinds of four-wheel drive systems. One, only 3 wheels is going to work. Most of those are red. On that red brand, the ATV off-cambered, stuck in the mud, the wheel that's in the air on the front is the wheel that's going to actually work. You need one on the ground to work. So some of the other brands, what they did was diff lock. Well, that's really cool that they got a diff lock, but it's a series of things that you got to do. You got to stop, you got to push a button, you got to push a lever, you got to go into low range, and then you're going to be restricted to how fast you can actually go and whether or not you can back up while you're in that differential lock mode. And also while you're in that diff mode, there's no steering, there's no such thing. It goes forward and forward only. The other kind out there is going to be a Visco lock. Visco lock is like a jack in the box. It's going to wind up and wind up and wind up and wind up. Those are usually the yellows. So anywhere from 2 to 8 revolutions stuck, the 4th wheel will come on. The best system out there is an all-wheel drive. So if you look at a Polaris, it's an all-wheel drive, and if you look at the rear end, it's called